Hello everybody and welcome to episode 16 of Let's Play Battlefield Vietnam. We are once more fighting as the North Vietnamese army, which means that we have access to all of its weaponry, all of its equipment, and all of its expertise. So now as the 5th Battalion of the 812th Regiment, we are going to kick the ass of a couple of Marines. It's now July 1966. 2 months since our last battle, but we're going to continue to achieve victory against the Americans. Now I'm going to ride shotgun in this helicopter for a while, take a look at all this wonderfully painted on machinery, all these beautiful dials, which I won't criticize. We've got a nice fabric seat here, not leather, but what can you expect? We've got a radio, it appears, for communicating with our favourite comrades, or even listening to good old Hanoi Hannah back home. But anyhow, we don't need that kind of propaganda here because I'm spouting enough of it. So I'm going to take the controls of this helicopter and begin my campaign against the Americans. We've swapped seats with our comrade and we're going to begin the assault. Now's the time to cue Ride of the Valkyries as we begin our strafing attack. First contact. Beautiful. But it takes a hell of a long time to reload our rockets, so we might not be as effective as hoped. Nonetheless, we shall continue to harass these Americans with every measure available to us. Bombing, strafing, and capturing their base. We've seized the base area. This is good. We've also captured an American armoured personnel carrier next to this plantation. And would you look at the irony of that, these Americans are sending black soldiers to try and reclaim the plantation. Well, they'd be right at home there, wouldn't they? Please look at the disclaimer in my video description. Now let's go and kill these Americans. Let's give them a taste of the same medicine we've given them before. It's worked rather well for their previous ailments. However, it looks like we have to take out their APC. It's a pity. I would have enjoyed capturing it and using it against its former owners. The Americans are beginning to manifest in very great numbers though, but at least it turns out that I have multiple rocket pods that I haven't used yet. Now we're going to try and break up this American attack column before they can deal some heavy casualties to us. However, the helicopter is taking damage and I'd better bail out right now. Unfortunately, I couldn't survive, but in the meantime, our gracious comrades have pulled up the line. They've seized a couple more bases, and we're making an advance for the Americans. This can be a victory, and a quite enjoyable one as well. However, the Americans are coming in numbers, and they can threaten us. I'll be taking one of these good old patrol boats for the river, and see what I can do with it against these Americans. We have a nice anti-aircraft gun mounted on the front, and an anti-personnel gun mounted on the back. Not bad at all. And it's pretty damn fast, too. And it's spinning, and we're not out of action yet. It looks like we're going to have to go into battle backwards, but that doesn't matter. We're backwards enough as it is. We're used to it. We really are. Oh, there we are, we're going forwards again. We really do not have control over this speedboat. The river current is fucking me over, to be really honest about it. All I want to do is shoot some goddamn Americans. Can't you let me do this? Alright. So now I've caught sight of one. And we've nailed them with a few bullets, but they're about to take out the boat. Well, that's what we get for using piles of crap. No offense to the boat. I'm going to come ashore now and do what I do best, which is kill or be killed. Because in the world of Vietnam, you either kill enemies or the enemies kill you. It's not like the world of today where the greatest dilemma is that you either crank on somebody or they crank on you. No, here things are of a more serious caliber. And no wonder the Americans were causing so much damage. I thought they were using small arms, but in fact, they were using this armored personnel carrier all along. Well, I finally got to capture it. Isn't that just wonderful? We've seized another American base. They're at a true disadvantage right now, but we need to press our own advantage against them. We have a couple of men here beginning their advance. We should back them up. But first things first, we're going to squeeze on the pimple of marine imperialism right here and kick them out of our beautiful Buddhist temple. Or at least I think it's a temple. We'll see now. We're crossing good old polluted rivers. Agent Orange galore. Hopefully it doesn't go through the armor. And now we're going to begin our assault. We've secured the temple, but the Americans have retaken the plantation. They're certainly quite obsessed with it, if you ask me. They really want to extract our resources, don't they? Meanwhile, however, we have a tank. We have a PT-76 up on the front lines. If only it wasn't controlled by the AI. We can make do anyhow, and we have to make do anyhow. The Americans have seized another base from us and are working on that temple. This situation could be a lot worse, but it could also be inestimably better. In the meantime, the Americans are capturing more and more bases from us. We need to strike back, because they've gone behind our lines for the sheer purpose of fucking us over. Well, that's fine by me, because we can strike back as well. We have more points than them, and we're bringing up this American roadkill onto our tank treads as well. They can follow the bloodstains if they want to find us, but I think they'll be too scared. Now here's the actual confrontation, the battle that I've been waiting for. So this is where the American efforts have been concentrated, and where our own men have also been fighting. Hopefully, we can come out on top here. We have more men in the APC, 5 of them now, it's a whole squad. Here we go, going into the village with the squad be like... brrr, brrr, brrr. That's my attempt at a machine gun noise. But anyway, we're taking this base, we're killing them. And that's all that matters. We need to kill these fuckers, and kill them quick. I'm gonna bail out for a moment, and try to use my machine gun against them. Because the Americans are trying to flank our APC, but we won't allow them. We can't allow them. Even if they're trying to come up... Wait, no, those are our helicopters. Thank God for that. Even if they try to come up behind us, we will come out on top. So we've seized another base, we're now 100 points ahead of them. Very, very nice. But the Americans are still here, somewhere. I'm going to try and retake control of the APC. Because only I'm the best driver. It's commonly known fact, out of the tens of millions of Vietnamese people, I'm the only one with enough of a head to drive an APC straight. Because I'm a super soldier. It's rather obvious at this point. But fighting through all these battles, I've nonetheless overcome. I've taken bullet after bullet after bullet, and delivered my fair share as well. And now we're going to deliver to the Americans as well. We're going to retake our rice paddy, because we need this rice. We're going to hold the rice. We're going to kick these motherfuckers out of our rice fields, and secure an existence and a future for our Vietnamese yellow children. With that done, we can continue our offensive. It looks like the Americans want some armor-on-armor combat. Well, let's do it. APC on APC. Let's hit them with all we've got at our very best shot. Come on! We'll ram them ashore if we have to. We took out their gunner the old-fashioned way, and perhaps we can land a few grenades inside of the APC as well. Come on, run away! You know what to do! You fucking know what to do, you retard! Fortunately, our good friend in the MiG noticed my plight. The plight of a retard infested North Vietnamese Army Battalion. I mean, are these really the best men we have? Is this really the best we can do? Because if it is, then I don't see this war coming out too well for us. The Americans, however, are continuing their fight. They've held on quite decisively, even if we're 130 points ahead. We need to push against them, we need to crush them fast. And no matter how repetitive this mantra of mine has become, it's only because it remains valid. And so we're going to cruise up into the base. We've evicted the Americans from here. And now instead of pressing our advantage up against that temple, I'm going to do something unique. And hold my ground. No more attacking. I'm going to leave it to the AI to fail at doing that. Instead, we're going to try a defensive operation. The entire squad almost has bailed out of the APC, and we're facing the first American counterattack. This is good. Because if we can break this counterattack, I think we can deter any future American action against us. Here we go. In there with the machete. Doing it the right way. There's only one right way. You can quote our good friends from Rwanda on that. It's with a machete. We're gonna put another drum into the old RPD. Hope that it works. That it still works. Take Mr. Frenchy Brown out. And continue this sublime, calm, defensive operation, because we found a little oasis in the midst of the Vietnamese chaos here, where we only occasionally have to fire some bullets into the face of an American imperialist. The rest of the time we can just sit here by these sandbags, thinking of our lovely families back home, of our beautiful father Ho Chi Minh, and the Central Committee, the political bureau, Communist Party of Vietnam, our saviors, our heroes and our patrons. To them we give thanks, to them we deliver our supplications for more weaponry, for more victory, for more support in the media, for everything that we can ever dream of. Now the American's coming around, isn't he? Hustle! Well, fuck you! Yeah, you heard me right. Fuck you! Let me look at that watch. What is it, a Rolex? Doesn't matter, we don't have enough time to take it away from him. Because the American assault continues. As well as our advantage. We're now 200 points ahead of them. Beautiful indeed. Now all we have to do is stop this forest brother and his friend from gaining the base. And he knows that I'm onto him. He's trying some long-range combat, but he's too much of a retard to do it correctly. So we just took out Josh and Mark with great ease. Very great ease. Now what to do next? Do we press our advantage against the evil white devils? I say we hurl a grenade at them first. Come on. There we go. Beautiful. Perfectly synchronized. But their offensive continues. And they're coming in greater numbers, and our friends at the APC have decided to just fuck off. So I'm having to resort to some desperate measures here to fight them off. Thankfully we... Wait, that's not one of our helicopters. I have to take him down right now. He's losing altitude, but not fast enough. I need to reload my guns and wield them a shit! There goes that operation. We're not lost though. Vietnam can still be won. And I'm gonna do it the old-fashioned way. From the sky. Sorry about that. Let's see what we have here. Or whatever that is. I can't speak Vietnamese. I apologize if there's any Vietnamese people watching me, which there probably are. Your beautiful culture is beyond my understanding. And now to the helicopter. So that we can do something that we've delayed for a little while. And that's to launch our second offensive. But this time we're not going to the front line. We're not going to attack the forward bases to try and bleed the Americans at points that way. Instead, we're going to try and cut off the American disease at its roots. We're going for the main American fire base. We're going to take out their helicopters, take out their tanks and their jets. Here we go, we're going to take stock. We've already got 2 comrades in there beginning the offensive. Is one of them in the tank? Potentially. Meanwhile, the American gunboats are going out along the river, I'm not sure what river. I think it might be the Mekong or one of its subsidiaries because I can't think of any other rivers in Vietnam. Anyhow, we'll leave the boat to its business because it's gone to the bottom of the sea anyhow. And I'll try to take out this American helicopter. There we go. We're dealing casualties. We're bringing debt. No better way to do it. And now finally for some helicopter-to-helicopter combat. Fuck, 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 fuck. Damn it. In the meantime, the Americans have pushed us back substantially to the point where we are on the verge of defeat. Isn't this a good time to jump in? I'm gonna get into the old BTR. And no, BTR isn't some abbreviation of a band name or anything like that. What it is, however, is the means by which we're about to regain the advantage. And I'm gonna do this on behalf of all that is good in Vietnam. We're gonna bring these Americans one by one and we are going to kill them. And unfortunately I'm too tired to think of anything funny to say, which I'd love to say right now. So I'm just gonna keep spouting the truth. Because that's all I have to do. Because I'm a lyrical, miracle individual. Who can speak on the go, say the truth, and make it sound good as well. I'm not even sure actually, in fact, who said that first. It might have been our good friend Kanye West, or Mr. Eminem. And now I do refer to Kanye West as our friend because I'm gonna assume that if Kanye West is around these days, good old Ye would support us in our struggle. Because sure, we're dark enough in our skin tone, he'd send the NBA a couple of pairs of Yeezys at the very least. And I can imagine how much of a wonderful effect that would have. Because we're doing fantastically right now barefoot. Imagine how well we could do with a pair of Yeezys on us right then. We'd be jumping into battle, running into battle, stomping over these Americans, outrunning them, running circles around them, and they'd be just there wondering what the fuck is going on. And now, to make sure that we have the advantage, I'm going to take control of the temple. Meanwhile, our friends have taken the old BTR, and the Americans have gunned me down. And I'm going to retaliate with another weapon. I'm going to bust out the good old Mat 49 submachine gun, which looks more like a really poor machine pistol. Talk about range. At least we got him. Now what do we have? We have a mortar. That sounds like it can be very, very fun, if utilized correctly. We also have a big-ass machete. We have a hill right here. And the idea that I'm having is that we... No, that's not the idea. The original idea I was having is that we plant the mortar on the hill and use it to rain debt upon the American soldiers. It might cut this episode short, but it's a risk that I'm willing to take. Because this episode is already long enough. I'm sure that you've all missed these longer episodes. And sure, here's one. Here's a nice good one. And meanwhile, this motherfucker's flying in with a Huey gunship. Well, we'll show him. We'll take him out. First, we've got to find the gunship. Mr. Dave Kerr. Well, we're going to meet Dave, and we're going to shoot him out of the sky as well. I'm apt to believe that that's him, and he just parachuted out of the helicopter. So I can track him down right now. Hello, Dave! Hello! Is that you? Come on, at least talk to me, bro. Come on! We need to get a good angle and launch this attack again. Took out Mr. Barney, but it wasn't him. Wrong guy. Not Dennis either. Come on, this has to be him. Nope, Oscar. Fuck you, Oscar. We don't need you. We're looking for somebody else. Somebody else got Dave Kerr. Liu Kyung-san. Good for him. Good for him. Meanwhile, I'm going to bombard the temple. And then I'm going to land on this hill. And use my mortar to do something wonderful and righteous. Here we go. I'm not even too sure where the Americans are, to be honest. I'm gonna take my mortar someplace else. Oh, it can't be picked up again. Fuck's sake. Oh. Well, what do we have here? Dynamite. I don't know how clipping this thing plants dynamite, but that's not for me to worry about. What is for me to worry about is the fact that there's still 43 Americans out here. Take that, fucking Josh Bird. We have ammunition now and we have a good gun too. All we have to do is get close to the motherfuckers and they're as good as dead. And now we can begin an earnest assault on their base. We have a little vantage point from here. Pulled off a long-range kill, and now we can keep on going. They're scared though. Now they're very scared. And the fact that I'm dueling them from a couple of dozen meters using a submachine gun, they're thinking this motherfucker's either a genius or really, really stupid. And you know what? In the cause of Vietnamese liberation, I'm ready to be as stupid as I have to be to liberate this country. You heard me right. I don't care. I can go crazy, I can go stupid, and I will go crazy and go stupid if it's for the welfare of my nation. Now I'm sure that there's many right-wingers who'd say the exact same thing, but you know what? Fuck them. Fuck them. I'm here to kill Americans, and that's my only job for the moment. And you know what? I'm earning exactly 0.00 of any currency unit whatsoever by doing it. So it's hard but honest work. Now, we have only a couple of seconds left to do this. We can try and get them to the sky, but we won't be able to do anything with this MiG. We're in the sky though, and so we have it. Another victory against the Americans, a major victory. We have defeated Operation Hastings, as they have decided to name it, and we have pushed them once more out of our territory. The North Vietnamese army remains triumphant in July 1966, as the Americans continue to reel from our shocking attacks. If you wish to continue following these attacks and lending your gracious support to them, don't forget to leave a like and a comment and to subscribe to my channel to show your dedication to the cause of Vietnam, to the Central Committee, to the Politburo, to Uncle Ho himself. Now, I have been the Nerd Gamer. Thank you very, very much for watching, and goodbye for today.